Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Corps. It is.
I'm Will. Hey, everyone.
Yeah, it's you. All right, this time we're going to talk Green Lantern #1. What? Yes, again. The first six.
One more time.
The first 6 issues of Volume 5, kids.
Mm-hmm. This is the third one we've done. Is that right? The third one we've done?
Yeah, I mean, we did a few, just a few issues, towards the end of Volume 2, but we did all of Volume 3, all of Volume 4. Now we're doing all of Volume 9.
Yeah.
Plus Green Lantern Corps books along the way, and Emerald Warriors.
Yeah, and post, it's interesting to me is that post New 52, we don't get a new Green Lantern book. We get a Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps and a Green Lanterns,
yes,
plural book. It's not until that all ends,
yeah,
that we finally get a new Green Lantern book, which was the Jeffrey Thorne run, which we've discussed. At length.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say Grant Morrison, but that was the Green Lantern, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it was Green Lantern season 2 after that. So.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to get to those too, because some of that, I was just. We might have to go through those an issue at a time, because.
Yeah, there was actually a really good series of blog posts or something where the author was diving into every issue and all the references, all the Silver Age-y stuff that was going on. I was like, I've got a link to that somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find it and share it with you. But yeah, it was good. I don't know if the author ever finished the series though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but besides, by the time we get to that point, we might need to slow down a little bit. So yeah,
yeah,
it'll help to go. Yeah, maybe we'll do old Quantum Zone rules once we get to that point. Once we get to the Grant Morrison stuff, maybe we'll just start doing one issue at a time or something.
One issue at a time, yeah. But that is, I think, years plural into the future at this point.
Yes, because New 52 will take us all through the rest of this year, and I believe all of next year. So.
Oh wow, lots of books.
Books. Yep. Green Lanterns, Red Lanterns.
Sinestro, Larfleeze,
the Corps, yes. White, New Guardians, yeah.
Oh, and Green Lantern, of course.
Yes. Of course. All right.
Of course.
All right, should we dive in? Because we got 6 books tonight.
You bet. Let's go.
All right.
Wait, before we do it, there's no news, nothing.
Not that I know of. No. I haven't heard anything new about the TV show or.
New issue of Green Lantern came out, right?
Or
it comes out tomorrow?
Oh, it might come out. Yeah, hold on, let me check my list here for tomorrow.
I think I saw a bit of a preview of it.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
As of this recording, kids, yes, tomorrow. Yep, number 14 tomorrow.
Sweet.
Yeah, because now DC is back with everyone else on Wednesdays, so.
Excellent. Something to look forward to.
Yes. All right, so. Like we said, we're going to start once again, Green Lantern, Volume 5, number 1, from November 2011, Sinestro Part 1. Wait, I wonder who's in this. Writer, Jeff Johns, penciler, Doug Mank, inkers, Christian Alamy and Tom Guyan, colorist, David Barron, letterer, Sal Cipriano, and editors, Brian Cunningham and Darren Shawn. On Oa, Sinestro is watched intently by the Guardians of the Universe as he recites the Green Lantern Oath. Once the oath is spoken, Sinestro asks what they have planned for him. One Guardian explains they believe Sinestro receiving the ring is his chance for redemption and allow him to leave, only telling him to protect his sector. Ganthet openly questions the wisdom of this decision. The other Guardians inform him that they are tired of his emotional responses and claim they must be of one mind before attacking him with their mental energies. Wow, we're starting on
Pretty dark.
Yeah, we're not starting out slow here. In his Coast City apartment, Hal Jordan is hounded by his landlord for overdue rent. As he looks out the window, Hal notices a woman in the building across the street being threatened. He jumps out his 7th-story window, crashes through the window of the woman's apartment, and subdues her attacker. Only then does he look up to see the room filled by a camera crew and realize the woman and her attacker are actors.
Leap first, look later.
Exactly. Sometime later, Carol Ferris arrives to bail Hal out of jail. He tells him it's time to move on with his life and offers Hal a job at Ferris Air. Thinking it over, Hal asks Carol out on a date. I love she's like, yeah, but you can't be flying a plane. I can't get insurance if you're flying a plane.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Elsewhere, Sinestro has returned to his home planet of Korugar. From orbit, he watches as members of his Sinestro Corps torture the population. Suddenly, he is attacked by one member who mistakes him for a Green Lantern. Sinestro angrily asks him why they were disobeying his command to protect the planet. The Corpsman counters that Sinestro has betrayed them and tries to contact Arkillo. Before he can reach Arkillo, Sinestro strangles him. Then he sends out a blast of energy to destroy the Yellow Ring before he can seek out a replacement. Back on Earth, Hal and Carol are dining in a fancy restaurant. Hal tells Carol he will accept her offer for a job and then says he has something else to ask her. He needs her to co-sign a car lease for him. Carol throws her drink in his face and stomps off. Hal chases after and tries to apologize, not realizing Carol was expecting a proposal. Thoroughly mad, Carol drives off, leaving Hal stranded in a growing rainstorm. Soaking wet, Hal finally arrives home, only to find an eviction notice attached to his apartment door. The night is not over, however, as Sinestro is waiting and offers Hal a chance to regain his ring. All right, so again, I know it's New 52. I mean, all the new rules, all the old rules might be out the window, but so I'm thinking, is the law still in place where we can Green Lanterns can kill Sinestro Corps members?
Guess so. I mean, it was never revoked, right?
I guess no, yeah.
Well, and did they revoke the law that says they can use lethal force, period?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, looks like all the stuff with Blackest Night, everything happened. So at this point, we assume that everything shown in Green Lantern Corps, Blackest Night happened.
Yeah.
And this will bake your noodle. Some of the stuff that happened in Brightest Day happened, even though the stuff with all the other characters didn't happen, or did it? Exactly.
Wait, did you say Brightest Day?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think for us Green Lantern fans, New 52 was just a minor bump. Nobody really, there was no notice of it.
Let's just shine up the same old car and get back on the road. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now I can see how New 52 was very traumatic for everything except who?
Oh, well, Green Lantern, of course, and of course,
Batman, my favorite character.
So, this is an interesting first issue, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I know they want to show Hal as being, completely lost without his ring.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we both know that if he wanted to, he's been in contact with probably hundreds of alien species. He knows about galactic stuff and politics and the universal stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could get a job somewhere. But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to show that without the ring, he's rudderless.
Yeah, come on. There's always openings for insurance salesman or toy salesman. Come on.
Exactly.
Or truck driver.
Yes. You beat me to it. But and I get what they do here. I get what Johns and the team are doing here, and then the way they take that in the 6th issue, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and kind of turn it on its head a little bit, and then of course the ending that we get in 6, which we'll get to. So,
and I forget. Is it this first issue? Yeah. See, he says he got thrown out of the Air Force because, of course, he was MIA.
MIA, yeah.
But but that's the other thing. Again, New 52, like I say, it has its flaws, but I swear the big mission statement in New 52 was like, oh, it's a great jumping on point for new people. Again, this Green Lantern #1, do you think would this have been a good jumping on point for people?
It's really kind of in the middle of the story that was still running. We're dealing with the consequences of War of the Green Lanterns, and it's Sinestro's a Green Lantern? What the heck? And he's 2814's Green Lantern. So yeah, I mean, for a jumping on point, I don't know that it works that great. I mean, it's another great chapter in Green Lantern, but as a #1 issue, I don't know.
Is he 2814's Green Lantern?
I think he is.
Okay, because I know when they said protect your sector, because at first I thought they meant Korugar, and I'm like, well, isn't Sornik still there?
Yeah, I mean, and of course we haven't jumped on to Core yet in the New 52, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he took over Hal's sector. At least that's my understanding.
Well, that's the other thing. I was like, I know we were like starting over, kind of trying to start over fresh here, but I'm like, where's Kyle? Where's Guy? Where's John? I mean, especially when Hal needs help, I'm like, well,
Yeah. Or even, I mean, Barry, Ollie, Superman, Batman, all of them. I know he's not on great terms with them because pre-New 52, he was trying to deal with all of the stuff by himself.
Yeah.
But still, there's history.
Batman.
Well, there
My favorite character.
Yeah. And again, spoilers, he's looking for a battery here in a few issues. It's like, well, again, where's Kyle? Where's Guy? Where's Sean?
Hey, guys, can I get a battery, please?
Remember right before Emerald Twilight when his battery blew up? Remember? I was like, well, find someone else to charge off their battery.
Can I bum a charge, please? I mean, this was a good issue. It's just, I don't think it really fulfills the mission statement of New 52 and being a first issue.
Yeah, no.
So it's a good issue, but I don't think it's a good first issue.
Yeah, no. It's the same old thing, but they're trying to wrap it like it's brand new. It's like no. We've been doing this since 2004, 2005. Yeah,
5, yeah. Yep, indeed.
And again, it's not even the new writer; it's still Jeff Johns. I mean, who's a great writer, but it's like, same writer continuing his story. It's like, okay. That's what confused everybody. It's like, it's supposed to, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, they're all getting rebooted, but Green Lantern, Batman, it's business as usual.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think, to be honest, I think that, and it's been a while since I've read it, so my memory could be clouded here, but I think the Batman #1 from New 52, I think works a lot better as a #1, as, a jumping on point for new readers.
So, yeah.
Just because it's starting a new storyline, it's still Batman, and whatever. We don't really have to concern ourselves too much with his history. He's Batman. Did he have Robins? It doesn't matter. But I think it does a really good job of introducing Batman and the Court of Owls storyline. I think it does a really good job.
And again, it sets a lot of the Bat stuff back to status quo because, like, right before New 52, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson were both running around as Batman. New 52 starts. It's like, okay, Dick Grayson is back as Nightwing. Bruce is back as the only Batman in Gotham. So it kind of sets everything back to like a status quo. And then we get Court of Owls.
And then we get Court of Owls, which is a classic story. I mean, and that's not to say, we have the Third Army arc coming up, Wrath of the First Lantern. Was Wrath of the First Lantern the last Jeff Johns arc?
I'm trying to remember. It might be. I can't remember. It might be. Okay.
Because I'm not sure where those things fall in the. Actually, I'm not. I don't remember exactly where they fall.
I forget so many of these. So we're gonna have to see what kind of entry or re-entry we get once Jeff Johns leaves and who someone takes over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because then I think it becomes more of a New 52 title. I think when that happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially like spoilers. I mean, Guy's gonna go to the Red Lanterns and get Supergirl as a Red Lantern and stuff. Yeah, and Carol finds a new man, a better man.
as a Hal fan, I really don't think that worked on a lot of levels. And I think as a as a Kyle fan, I don't think you think that worked on a lot of
I
levels
know.
either.
I did think that was weird. It's like, oh, he likes cougars all of a sudden. Okay.
Yeah, that was weird. Because I did read the Godhead arc because I got the hardcover, so I just burned through it. I'm like, what the? When did that happen? I guess we're about to find out.
I can't remember when it happened, but yeah, that's how it can happen. Oh, did you notice in this issue, Pandora makes a cameo appearance to witness the events of this storyline, as she does every #1 issue published as part of the New 52.
I did not notice that. I missed that completely.
This is directly following her first appearance in the pages of Flashpoint. She can be seen next to Carol Ferris and Hal Jordan while they're talking on the street.
Huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, from what I was reading, Pandora was going to be a big deal, and then it turned out she was kind of cannon fodder for Dr. Manhattan when the New 52 was winding down.
Yeah, I think Pandora was like a symbol of the New 52, and then all of a sudden when they started like backtrack and stuff, they're like, oh, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give them credit. It was.
Oh yeah.
It was something. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, they tried, but again, it's so weird because again, so many people got full reboots, but again, it's like, oh, stuff's selling well. We don't want to reboot this. Well, you got to pick a direction.
And the seeds of its own destruction were sown within it, right? to borrow some phraseology there.
Oh man, I forgot again. One of the show covers. All right, hold on.
Oh yeah, and I believe there's a variant cover by Greg Capullo for this one.
Yeah. Look at that.
Sinestro.
I mustache you a few questions.
Nice. Very nice.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's a good issue. It's a good continuation of the storylines that we've been in motion for the last couple of years. I mean, really, from Blackest Night on through War of the Green Lanterns. But as far as a first issue goes, I don't see it being it's just really not a great jumping on point for new readers because it's just, I mean, at the end, before the universe rebooted, Sinestro had just gotten a ring and the Guardians were torturing him. Now they're letting him go. I mean, it's just like we haven't missed a beat here.
All right, ready for 2?
You bet.
All right, so, Green Lantern #2, Volume 5, #2. Yeah, Sinestro getting a lot of screen time on these covers here. All right, so December 2011, Sinestro Part 2. Right, I think same team. Sinestro offers Hal a chance to be a Green Lantern once again, but Hal attacks him, easily subduing Hal and binding him with chains. Sinestro says that Hal's life has been very difficult lately without his ring. Then Sinestro creates a ring and places it on Hal. Powered by the ring, Hal frees himself from the chains and blasts Sinestro with an energy beam. However, the beam does not affect Sinestro. Confused, Hal asks what's wrong with the ring, and Sinestro replies that there's nothing wrong with it. Since the ring was created by Sinestro, he alone can control it. To prove his point to Hal, Sinestro powers down his ring, and Hal falls to a rooftop. As he reactivates the ring, Sinestro proclaims that Hal is his servant. Then, Hal hears emergency sirens and flies to see the problem, much to Sinestro's annoyance. Hal and Sinestro watch as a bridge is about to collapse. Hal saves the woman, but Sinestro deactivates his ring and the woman falls to the water. Then Sinestro fixes the entire bridge and saves all the victims, including the woman. As Sinestro reactivates Hal's ring, Korugar, a member of the Sinestro Corps and the one behind the bridge's collapse, attacks them. Sinestro fights Korugar, proclaiming that all the members of his corps gave in to their sadistic urges instead of obeying the code of conduct he created. Then he kills Korugar with a sword construct. Sinestro tells Hal that the Sinestro Corps have enslaved Korugar and Hal will help him destroy them. All right. Thoughts?
I mean,
you can tell Sinestro's very pleased with himself. He's like, haha, you have exactly what you want, but you're welcome.
Yeah. And, he says, what is it this issue or the next issue where, he says, he laughs at Hal because Hal says, you're not better than me, and he's like, of course I'm better than you, which I thought was kind of funny.
Mhm.
But there's some interesting things that happen throughout this arc. We really get to see that Sinestro really was one of the greatest Green Lanterns because he knows things about the ring and its capabilities
Mhm.
that Hal doesn't know. That we don't know as readers because we haven't been exposed to it. And I think that's something cool that Johns is doing with Sinestro's character in this, is showing everyone just how formidable Sinestro is as a Green Lantern.
Although we haven't brought this up in a while, but I mean, remember back, what was that, Emerald Knight or whatever? Remember when the Hal Jordan from the past came to the present? I mean, he was able to copy his ring before he went back to the past. So, I mean, we've seen those rings copy themselves before.
Exactly. Yeah, that's Owen technology.
But
We saw it in Blackest Night.
Mhm.
When they were emergency deputization, boom, new rings were created. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is good, and we get to see how good Sinestro is with the green ring.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't. I think I mentioned this before. I don't remember reading these, so I don't remember what happens, and I'm kind of like, okay, cool. So this is where where are we going with this? But and there is something that annoys me, I guess, and you can see it kind of traced through John's run, I think, and that's really the Guardians are the bad guys,
Yeah.
and that's not something that I personally like, because I think it's kind of easy, to make them the bad guys.
Yeah, and again, it's like you have to. I mean, I guess the whole emotional thing, but it's just they're billions of years old. You really, really got to give it a good reason why. Oh, why haven't they conquered the galaxy already? If they're actually going to be evil,
Or the universe, or anything. I mean, because they have so much power, and they're trying to do
they could.
ostensibly what they think is good,
Yeah,
and they have the Book of Oa, which they have edited. Which again, see, there's lots of little things that Johns has had the Guardians do that I don't see how you could not be billions of years old and have some small amount of wisdom, perhaps. With
yeah.
all that knowledge, surely you have a little bit of wisdom. So I don't know. It's
I don't know. I don't know if I'd almost buy it more that it's almost like they're so old they're going senile or something.
yeah, or they've gotten so old that because it seems like what they're trying to do for order just leads to more chaos. And sure, you would think that they would see that because they are billions of years old at this point. But they I don't know if it's hubris, if it's what, but if you look back through volume 4, Blackest Night, Sinestro Corps War, the Guardians really kind of are at the heart of a lot of the strife and struggle and problems that have been present since Rebirth, right?
Yeah, I mean they're so old and controlling. They're leading in several red states.
Nice.
Thank
So that from a personal preference, I'm not a big fan of the Guardians being kind of the villains here, which they
Yeah.
seem to be. And that's just because, again, I would think that beings that started out to, well, what did they start out to do? Was it to bring order? Was it to suppress emotion? Suppress what? It seems like that there was some kernel of wanting to help, right?
Mm.
Somewhere in that, and that I feel like that's been lost.
I mean, I'm trying to remember if it ever gets said, but I mean, they're pretty much. I mean, they've been doing it a lot longer, but they're pretty much Sinestro.
They're definitely skewing that way, and they
Mm.
they gripe at him for what they're doing, so and the thing is, we get when Sinestro encounters Lissa Drac in issue 6, he gets a shot of the future to come, right?
Mm.
So we can talk about that, but I mean, really, kind of that's my only kind of criticism is from a personal standpoint. I don't like the Guardians being the bad guys, and I don't like blowing up the freaking central power battery.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't do those two things, I'm easy, right? I'm like a solid in, okay? If you can write something that doesn't involve those things about Green Lantern, you got me. I'm your audience, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather the Guardians take another one of their little sabbaticals rather than, like destroying the core or going evil.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I know this is going to play out differently. I have a general idea. I don't know exactly how it plays out, but I guess it comes down, and I've taken us way off target here, man. You can tell me to shut up anytime.
Yeah.
I really feel like, at the core, if you'll pardon the pun.
Oh, yeah.
The core concept of Green Lantern since the Silver Age, right? Barring the Ron Mars and Daryl Banks era, is that you have this intergalactic force that is out there trying to do good, and they're backed by these ancient, unknowable, extremely powerful beings who have empowered them to do good, right? And I think this arc shows off, I think, that progressive militarization we've seen of the Green Lantern Corps throughout the Rebirth era, which, is not it's not something that I think either of us are, tremendous fans of.
No.
But the superiors being the bad guys in this military type thing, is, I guess, it's to be expected, but it's not necessarily something that I'm looking forward to.
Defund the Guardians.
Sorry, off on that wild tangent.
All right, you ready?
Not the tangent universe, just
no.
Tangent.
All right, you ready for number 3?
You bet.
All right. All right. Oh, hold on. All right, so Green Lantern number 3.
That's a nice cover, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's the art. I have no problem with the art in these.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, Green Lantern number 3, January 2012, Sinestro Part 3. Same team. Oh, we got a couple more inkers. Christian Alamy, Keith Champagne, Mark Irwin, and Tom Guyan. So 4 inkers on this one. All right. Carol arrives to her home after her disastrous date with Hal. Suddenly, Tom calls her on her phone, telling Carol to turn on the TV. She does so and watches Hal and Sinestro working together. Shocked, Carol tells Tom Hal would never work with Sinestro again. Meanwhile, Sinestro explains to Hal that he... hold on, stupid screen. Sinestro explains to Hal that he needs him to liberate Korugar from the Sinestro Corps. If the other Green Lanterns get involved, there will be a massacre. Hal decides to go with Sinestro, but not before saying goodbye to Carol. However, Sinestro won't let him, as the fate of Korugar is more urgent. Hal angrily punches... Well, who didn't see this coming? Hal angrily punches Sinestro in the face, saying that Sinestro is not better than him. Oh, there's your line.
There's my line. Yep. Sorry, it's in the wrong issue.
Yes. Sinestro simply laughs, saying that he is better than Hal, and he already knows that. Then Sinestro flies off to Korugar, followed by a reluctant Hal. On Oa, the Guardians have removed all emotion from Ganthet, who agrees with the Guardians that the Green Lantern Corps is flawed and that Hal and Sinestro are examples of that. The Guardians also see the imperfection in the robotic Manhunters. With this said, the Guardians agreed that it is time to create the Third Army. Hal and Sinestro arrive at Korugar, and Sinestro reveals his plan. They must stay hidden until sunset, and Sinestro will fight the corpsmen while Hal goes to the Yellow Central Battery and deactivates it, as it can only be deactivated by a Green Lantern. Hal expresses confusion at Sinestro's decision of using a Green Lantern as a failsafe for the Yellow Battery, but nonetheless goes along with the plan. Sinestro changes his uniform's color to black, surprising Hal as he didn't know the ring could do that. As they hide in Korugar's ruins while waiting for the sunset, Hal and Sinestro watch as the Corpsmen enslave the Korugarians and bring them to cells. Just as the Corpsman is about to kill a young Korugarian, another Korugarian named Arsona attacks him. Sinestro is surprised as he knows Arsona. However, the Corpsman restrains her and prepares to kill her, and Sinestro decides to attack. Although Sinestro fights the Corpsmen, the Korugarians are still a little bit afraid of him and decide to flee. Hal, knowing that Sinestro is drawing their attention, goes to the Yellow Central Battery, where he's attacked by another Corpsman. Hal quickly kills him and enters the battery, but the battery disintegrates him, much to Sinestro's shock. Dude,
That's something I didn't like.
Yeah.
At the end there.
It's like, what? Oh, he's not the star of the book, Sinestro.
Yeah, I just don't think Hal would have straight up, murderated someone.
I know, that was weird too. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Hal just killed a guy. Yeah, let's get into the, yeah.
Or did he? Maybe he knew that, maybe that wasn't a kill shot. Maybe he's some kind of organism that grows. I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah.
But still, it seemed very out of character for Hal to, just straight up murderate someone.
Yeah, I know. Agreed. And then the whole thing with the whole backup for that battery is, a Green Lantern has to go in there and deactivate it.
Yeah, that seems awful strange.
I mean, I don't think Sinestro foresaw himself getting a ring again. So, was he planning on like either Cal or one of these Earth Green Lanterns as using them as his backup?
Well, he has been able to. He's certainly not above manipulation to get people to do what he wants them to do. So, maybe. Or even, I mean, did he know that Soranik? Did he know he knew she was a Green Lantern? But had he already built the central battery at that point?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that could be. I don't know if that's related or not. That you're right. That's interesting. That he would choose a Green Lantern as the failsafe. And
isn't that weird that like Hal's like, oh, I didn't know you could make the uniform like black or whatever. I'm like, doesn't the ring create the uniform from scratch? So can't you
make it something else? Well, I mean,
yeah.
Okay, Hal is not necessarily known for subtlety. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's not dumb, but he is not exactly, and Sinestro is a master of subtlety, and I love the discussion. I think it was here where he talks about he's blown up 2 rings because of what he was doing with them.
Oh yeah. Because he was messing with the rings, trying to find their limits,
And Hal's like, you could and yeah, he did. So it's interesting. It's interesting to know, again, to show that as much of a veteran Lantern that Hal is, Sinestro and Abin Sur and maybe some of those Lanterns that have been around even longer. Know things about the rings and about the core and about the abilities that we just don't know yet, which I think is really cool. It adds a lot to the lore of Green Lantern in my mind.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, Hal doesn't just kill that Yellow Lantern; he blows his head off with a green bazooka.
Yeah, that doesn't seem.
Yeah, it's the new 52.
Okay, whatever, bro.
Yeah. See, that's another problem with the new 52. It's just like, oh yeah, people will just whack a guy or for no reason. It's like, okay.
Yeah, now, I mean, guy killed, was it a Sinestro Corps member? And he was still, he was still dealing with that the last time we saw him, and that was kind of that was shown to be a big deal, for Guy and for the Corps.
Plus, I would buy that. I would buy that with Guy before Hal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it makes sense, but. Yeah, Hal just to nuke some guy's head with a bazooka is just not. Seems out of character.
All right.
Of course, I mean, he did just kill a Guardian.
Yeah. It gets easier over time. Is that what you're saying?
I guess I have no idea, man. That was a universe ago. Okay,
that's true. All right. Should we get to the next one?
You bet.
It's another great cover. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, yes, Green Lantern number 4. Opens. All right. So, can't believe we're on Volume 5 already. Green Lantern, Volume 5, number 4, February 2012. Sinestro, Part 4. Same team. We're back to 2 inkers. Oh, colorist Alex Sinclair. I think that's a new one. As Hal is blasted by the yellow power battery, he sees his relationship with Carol with another perspective. However, the battery discovers that Hal is not Sinestro and stops blasting him with energy. The battery was not trying to disintegrate him. Instead, it was trying to teleport him to the antimatter universe. The Sinestro Corpsmen capture Sinestro and place the unconscious Hal in a cell. As Hal comes to, he tries to get out of the cell. However, the cell has been designed to withstand green energy. As his ring's energy levels approach 0, Hal uses the last of his ring's power to create a construct of Carol. Meanwhile, Sinestro is being tortured by Professor Incid, who tries to remove the green ring from Sinestro's hand. After several failed attempts, Incid imprisons Sinestro in a cell alongside Hal's to fully drain his green ring's power. Sinestro realizes that the cell he is in is filled with Korugarian prisoners. Among them is Arsona, who is angry at Sinestro for conquering Korugar and creating the Sinestro Corps. Sinestro defends his actions, saying that he only fulfilled his duties as a Green Lantern. However, Arsona is still angry at Sinestro for bringing pain and suffering to Korugar through his Corps. Sinestro replies that the Sinestro Corps were meant to protect Korugar, not enslave it, but Arsona refuses to listen. Hal, listening to the discussion, tells Sinestro across the cell that perhaps he could create rings for the Korugarians, just like he created a ring for him. With power rings, the Korugarians could fight back against the Corpsmen. Sinestro is not sure about this plan, saying that the rings would only last 10 minutes before disappearing. But Hal tells him to try. Exerting himself, Sinestro manages to create rings for the Korugarians. However, the Korugarians, led by a vengeful Arsona, decide to use their new power to attack Sinestro instead. Alright, so I get Sinestro has a very strong will and everything, but creating 100 rings?
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. And that brings up something that I remembered that kind of annoys me, is that this is fundamentally Owen technology. It's not magic.
Yes.
It's technology. And the Owens all of the Guardians are like, ooh, the ring chose him. You built it. It's doing what you built it to do. What do you mean you don't know why it did what? Come on.
I mean, are they just like, AI's out of control? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. But there seems to be this kind of almost mystical, the ring chose him. But we know that the rings never really chose. That was Mogo that was guiding them.
Yeah.
And now that Mogo is gone temporarily, dead-ish, it's on him and they can't get it off of him. I mean, don't they know how their own tech works? Or maybe they just haven't turned it off and turned it back on again? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, shouldn't they know how to turn it off of anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I find that a little bit strange. So
unless the
that
AI
was something that...
Yeah,
that was something that kind of bugged me about this, the underlying reasons for this arc with Sinestro wearing the ring is that, they built this. They know they built it. They literally, it's their creation. Surely they know why it is behaving or not. Maybe it's like, Windows 95 or something.
Are the rings sentient enough, do you think, that are they just like, the Guardians are on a bad track, or
that's a good question. Maybe the programming of the rings is at odds with what the Guardians are doing now. I mean, that's actually something that I hadn't considered. That's a good thought.
Plus, but don't you think they would have a fail safe so none of their Green Lanterns could create 100 rings at once? I mean, unless they just underestimate everyone. They're like, no one has that much willpower.
Which they've underestimated both Sinestro and Hal.
Yes,
because of course
they're both petty enough. Yes.
Green Lantern does not have enough willpower to kill a Guardian, right?
Yes.
And see, I don't think Hal meant to kill Krona. I think he was just breaking through his shield, which is why, again, this whole bazooka thing to the head is so weird and just kind of completely out of place. But sorry.
I mean, again, is that just once that especially for the creative team, even it's just like once you lift that ban on killing, it just becomes easier.
Yeah, I mean,
for the writers
to just use it. Yeah, that was a very odd. That definitely stood out to me. I'm glad it stood out to you too.
Yeah. And again, the Guardians are going dark here, but it's like, weren't they supposed to be like Guardians of Life? And now it's like, these rings can just basically kill anybody.
Yeah, why not?
How many plays? Yeah. There's no more comic code. All right. So should we get number 5?
You bet.
The penultimate. Take a drink, Lil. Oh, look, I got a cover with Hal on it. There you go.
There we go.
All right. So Green Lantern Volume 5, number 5. If it opens. All right. March 2012, Sinestro Part 5. Oh, Lord. We're back to 4 inkers for some reason. Maybe a deadline. I don't know. Hold on. This thing's jumping all over the place. Jump me back to 4. Okay. Arsona and the Korugarian prisoners are planning to use their new power rings to exact revenge on Sinestro. Although Hal tells them not to, as the rings will not last long. Arsona blasts Sinestro with an energy beam. However, Sinestro is unharmed as the rings cannot be used against their creator. Sinestro also says that they can escape from their cells using his battery. Meanwhile, Professor Incid is trying to discover a way to decharge Sinestro's battery so that he can find a way to defeat Sinestro and obtain control of the Sinestro Corps. However, the battery responds to Sinestro's mental orders and flies towards Sinestro, killing Incid. There's another body. The battery.
So you knew that was coming because Incid, he said, you're going to shoot a beam at me and kill me. No, he's just going to kill you with his battery.
Exactly, and it's Sinestro. So yeah, I buy that. The battery causes an explosion that destroys the cells, allowing Sinestro, Hal, and the Corps Guardians to escape and fight back. Sinestro lends his battery to Hal so that he can recharge his ring. As the Corps Guardians fight the Corpsmen, Sinestro and Hal return to the yellow central power battery to deactivate it. Hal asks Sinestro why did he fail the first time he tried to deactivate the battery. Sinestro answers that the battery thought Hal was Sinestro because he was carrying his battery and wearing a ring he created. Sinestro tells Hal that they must use his green battery to extinguish the yellow battery's light, activating the yellow battery's survival mode, in which the battery begins retracting energy from the Corpsmen's rings, causing the Corpsmen to fall into a coma. The plan works, and the Corpsmen are incapacitated before they can inflict any serious harm on the Corps Guardians. The Corps Guardians have mixed feelings about Sinestro's actions, however. Arsona is still angry at him. Although Sinestro expresses hope at returning to Korugar once again, Arsona replies that the people of Korugar will always think of him as an enemy. Flying through space with the battery and the Corpsmen under custody, Hal and Sinestro talk about recent events. Sinestro believes that Guardians are insidious and becoming a greater danger to the universe than he ever was, but Hal still denounces Sinestro's actions. Declaring their pact over, Sinestro decharges Hal's ring, saying he can keep it, but he never stated he would provide a way to recharge when he made the deal in the first place. Then Sinestro sends Hal back to Earth. Returning to Earth, Hal resolves to find another way to recharge his ring, until he remembers Carol. Hal goes to Ferris Aircraft and meets Carol with a kiss, telling her about what happened in Korugar. He apologizes for everything they have gone through, tells her that he wants her to be the last thing he sees before he dies, and promises to improve their relationship. She accepts Hal's apology, and the two reunite. Because this always works. On Oa, the Guardians meditate about Sinestro's actions, saying that he, like Hal Jordan, is no longer a threat to their future plans. They will go to the Chamber of Shadows and release the first Lantern so that he can lead their third army. Ooh, numbers. All right, thoughts?
Well, Sinestro saying, yeah, of course you can keep the ring, but you can't recharge it. That was a nice touch. That's very Sinestro. I don't know. I don't know why the Guardians suddenly think Sinestro's not going to be an issue. I don't get that, because he was able to free Korugar. That I don't understand. Maybe I will after number 7 through 12 or whatever. But yeah, I mean it's a good issue. There's no let's see. Were there's any straight up murder in this one? I don't think Hal murdered anybody. Did Sinestro murder anybody?
Incid? Professor Incid?
Oh yeah, the battery thing. Yeah. So, okay. But it was a good issue. It's just, again, the Guardians. Definitely not my preference.
Yeah, I know. And again, it's like, do we need the Guardians to be the threat? Why can't the First Lantern escape by himself and create a third army? I don't know.
I mean, I think
Well, although spoilers. We're going to get rid of these Guardians and get new Guardians.
Yeah, but I'm bummed. This has been building because the Guardians have since early in Volume 4, with them making choices, and choosing not to, rewriting the Book of Oa and keeping information from people because, they're the Guardians or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that this comes to its logical end. I would like to see, and I guess we're going to see new and different Guardians coming, but right now there are no Guardians.
Yeah.
In the current book, and perhaps, we've discussed this a lot. Having the Corps kind of shed its militaristic bent and just being, a rescue organization. We're going in to help. That's what we do. We don't arrest. We don't. We're not cops.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I would. That's what I would kind of like to see.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, New 52.
We're New 52 in it right now, so I will stop complaining about that. This is the way it is.
I mean, maybe just like give us even a better explanation why the Guardians are going nuts. Just be like, maybe they're just all the deaths and resurrections are cause them to go insane or something. Just be like, or they're afraid. They're like, how many times this organization has fallen and been resurrected and fallen and resurrected since you Earthmen joined the Corps.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this desire for control is out of fear, being out of control. So for as much as this, they say they don't have emotion, all of their actions seem to stem from that fear of not being in control. So
yeah,
I don't know what that means, but there it is. Now I think we've got within, what is it, issue 0? Is that when Simon first appears?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
So we get our first, new Earth Lantern in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not much longer. Jessica makes her first appearance in
Justice League, yeah.
Justice League, yeah. So, I know we give the Thorn Run, rightly so, a lot of criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But establishing Crux worlds and an underlying reason why Earth has so many Green Lanterns, I really liked the reasoning, and I like that. I like that was established. So I'm looking forward to reading Simon's first appearance, and Jessica's coming up.
Yes,
assuming we survive these evil Guardians.
Oh God, yeah. All right, should we get to the last one?
Let's do it.
It's kind of a one shot. It's not part of this first arc, and then there's another arc starting in number 7. So, all right. So Green Lantern, Volume 5, number 6, April 2012. The Other Hero, writer Jeff Johns. This time penciler and inker and one of the colorists, Michael Choi. Alex Sinclair's your other colorist. Letterer Sal Cipriano, and editors Darren Shawn and Brian Cunningham.
Yeah, this issue has a completely different look art-wise from everything else.
Well, yeah, because you got a new penciler, inker, and he's also one of the colorists. So yeah,
I mean, it almost has a painterly look in places. You know.
Hal takes Carol to the Coast City Aeronautical Museum for a date. Carol goes to the bathroom while Hal walks across the museum. Then he hears that an old mechanic is being threatened by his younger co-workers for telling the police that they were stealing plane parts. Hal steps in and beats down the thugs. He then returns to Carol, acting as if nothing happened. Leaving the museum, Carol asks Hal how he can live without being Green Lantern, and Hal replies that he'll manage and that he doesn't need to be Green Lantern. Does he need violence, though?
Apparently.
Meanwhile, on planet Ogoro, Sector 1417, Sinestro finds a hobo named Starstorm, who furiously asks Sinestro what else he wants from him. Apparently, the two share a history. Sinestro tells Starstorm that he came to Ogoro hoping to find Lycia Drac, but he was unable to find him due to a relic in her possession. Then Sinestro uses his ring to locate Starstorm's helmet. Starstorm refuses to wear the helmet, saying that he is nothing because of Sinestro, but Sinestro forces the helmet on him. Using the helmet, Starstorm guides Sinestro to a strange building where Lycia Drac attacks them. Lycia plans to absorb Sinestro and Starstorm into the book to feed off their stories. She sees Starstorm's story, discovering that he was a great hero until he was defeated and humiliated by Sinestro. Sinestro rips one of the book's pages and begins to see visions of possible futures, which include the Guardians killing the Green Lantern Corps, Sinestro as his Indigo tribesman, Hal dying, Ganthet obtaining a white power ring, and Sinestro dying. As the visions disappear, Sinestro becomes appalled at the Guardians' arrogance. Lycia continues her attack on Starstorm, wanting him to give in to his fear and end his own life. However, Sinestro grabs Starstorm's helmet and throws it at Lycia, causing a small explosion that renders her unconscious. Sinestro decides to leave her alive, saying that she might be of some use to him. He then turns to Starstorm, telling that even though he has seen men get back on their feet after falling in the darkness, he is no Hal Jordan. Oh. He then leaves Ogoro, ignoring Starstorm, who begs Sinestro to tell him who is Hal Jordan. Meanwhile, on Earth, Hal and Carol wake up together until Hal's ring attaches itself to his finger, causing him to transform in the Green Lantern. Sinestro appears, telling Hal that he is still of use to him. Oh, now you want me back.
And I think that takes us to the next arc, which is the Revenge of Black Hand. Is that 7 through 12?
No, let's see. Number 7 is The Secret of the Indigo Tribe.
Oh, okay. So it's probably going to bring some Black Hand stuff in there. I've got the hardcover up there. I'll have to look at it in a minute.
So we'll get to that next week because we're going to do the next 6 issues of this series. So yep.
Cool. And then we'll be 1 year into.
I know, but then we'll kind of jump back and do the other series. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like some of these stories can continue on without a break. So it's like, okay, when do you?
Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to reading Red Lanterns and New Guardians because I don't think I read those when they came out.
I didn't read them when they came out. I've read a bunch, some of the Red Lanterns and back issues, but I haven't read the whole series. So I am curious. I can't wait to get to that either. But I probably don't remember half of what happens in all the other books. The core.
Yeah, exactly.
Guardian. All right. So anything else, William?
I think that's it.
All right. So like I said, next week, kids, we're going to keep going on with Green Lantern 7 through 12. And then in 2 weeks, we'll get to the first 6 issues of Green Lantern Corps. And then the week after that, we'll get the Green Lantern Corps 7 through 12 and number 0.
Cool.
Yeah. And then, like I said, then we'll get the Green Lantern New Guardians. Just do the first 4 of those. Oh, and then, then Green Lantern New Guardians 5 through 8 and Blue Beetle number 9.
Cool.
And then, more Green Lantern New Guardians 9 through 12 and number 0. So that's basically what we're doing. We'll get to each series, we'll get them to 12 and 0, and then we'll get the Red Lantern. But that seems to be the formula here, kids. Yeah. All right, so we'll go through a year of each book before we jump to another book. So
very cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
All right, so hold on, let me. I have pictures here, kids. All right. All right. So send us your thoughts on all the upcoming books. And you can send us your thoughts on these issues here. How do you feel about the gratuitous killing? It was a hallmark of the New 52. All right. So email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch. Get your classic Capes and Lunatics merch, or maybe some new merch coming soon. And, of course, you must rain random money on us through the Cash App link. Queen Lilith demands it.
Make it rain.
Please don't make us dance on that pole. Just waiting for Sinestro or someone to blow our heads off.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And, of course, the Patreon, where, Lilith and I give you something different and uncensored every month. And I believe the August episode is going to be a request from one of our patrons, Justin himself. So subscribe now, and you can make requests. All right, so you can find everything all in one place. Well, you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, but you can find it all at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right, now for this Will All Red. Master of the Corps, Master of the Quantum Zone, Master of Podcasting, Master of Packaging, and several Kickstarter campaigns. Mr. Will, tell everyone about Crossover Division, Diary of Night, and everything else like that.
You bet. You can find me at Walred, that's at WALLRED, at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Twitter and probably other places that I've forgotten about. But if you'd like to check out the books that I write, Crossover Division, here's the hardcover, which I love so much. You can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. We'll be I'm fulfilling the hardcover and number 5 as well. I'm not doing it right now, but I am in the process of doing it right now. And we'll be launching number 6 on Kickstarter probably in September at some point. And then you can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're listening to Phil and I here discuss, the myriad interpretations of Green Lantern. So that means you must love Marvel's Quasar nearly as much as we do. So if you want to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
We're shipping them out.
Yep. And here's number 5.
Oh, nice. Can't wait to get that.
It will be coming soon, sir.
Nice.
I hope it's going somewhere nice. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
I'll have to read on that.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Yes. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. It's here, the new 52. We've officially begun. What you're getting for the next, the rest of this year and all next year. So strap in.
Strap in.
That's right. Again, next week, yes. Green Lantern 7 through 12. Oh, Indigo Tribe. Oh, we're going to get some good knock-knock jokes. Yeah.
Knock, knock.
All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, if you like that Earth Man, you should have put a ring on it. Good night.